Nice.
Fire truck.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at a Patreon request. Shout out to Kit for this. Always love when I get really dope requests like this one. This is going to be NCT 127's Fire Truck. We're going to look at the dance practice and the music video. Fun fact about this track for me personally, I have used this in choreography before. I, however, have never seen the dance nor seen the music video. So I am kind of going in blind, but I really know the song pretty well. So I'm kind of excited about it. I don't know if they're going to say fire truck or sabangcha. We'll see, but let's go ahead and get into it. Nice. Hands up if you're feeling the vibe now. Ooh, I really like that. You can call me. That's such an interesting choice they made for that. Front walkover? Hands up if you're feeling the vibe now. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, that was an interesting choice. Woo woo! There it is. Nice. Fun. I mean, it's a vibe. I like the song immensely. It is super dope. There's a lot of choreography in this that definitely matches the music the way that I heard it initially. So it was really very satisfying. And there's also parts of the choreo that are so different than how I would have ever interpreted it, which makes it very inspiring, very interesting too at the same time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the music video. We got to make a pit stop first because we got a performance video. So we're going to go ahead and look at this and then we'll look at the music video. Getting lifted. 2016. What a time to be alive, you know?
Hands up if you're feeling the vibe now.
It's this move right here. That's so interesting that they chose to do that. Because I ended up doing a Harlem Shake variation in the upper body. Da 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 da. Because it's just how we hit it it's just really fun. I think that's the most interesting move in the whole thing. I feel the vibe. I'll put my hands up. I bet that's a lot of energy in those legs to have to do that.
Fire truck.
The slow-mo on that was fun.
Fire truck. Fire truck. Next moment on. Turn it on.
Is that a Goosebump shirt? That's actually a really cool shirt. Sabancha. I do find it interesting we don't really drive our fire truck ever. We don't even put any fires out. Maybe the music video they do. But choreographically, there's no wordplay on like driving or anything. So that's also interesting too. But I mean, it's a vibe for sure. Definitely. Man, I can definitely see the difference between like a more recent NCT 127 movement quality collectively compared to what we're seeing here. Now, both are great in their own right, for real. Especially, I think there's some really nice clean moments in this choreo, especially in that beginning. Really cool picture moments. But I can definitely see movement quality or maturity of like being able to sit in a groove feels very different between the two. So I am excited to kind of analyze this one for sure. But let's go ahead and look at the music video.
Getting lifted.
I don't think those freckles are real.
Fire truck. 어디 bound Mr. Fireman on the floor. 지금의 열기를 식혀줄게. 불만이 가득 차고도 화끈하게. 저 siren 소리에 느끼는 내 기분은 말썽 조금 곤란해. 미치겠는 분위기는 no thanks. 흔들리는 내 달궈진 backseat. 세운 뒤 빈틈없이 we get hands up if you feeling the vibe now. One step, two steps.
They tore down her castle. Oh, what if he had his head on that fan? There's where all the fire truck stuff is. Woo woo!
Just hold on. 차분한 밀면 다치게 higher. 열기 마치 로켓처럼 뜨거워. 이거 가는 폭발하기 10초 전. Hands up if you feeling the vibe now. One step, two steps. 외쳐봐 소방차 어디든 달려가지.
They're just using fire hose everywhere. No family dinner is safe. think it's like all the same person as she grew up, right? That's what it looks like. That's cool. Cool. Fire truck. I mean, okay, so you definitely see more imagery. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna pause real quick and do some little digging real quick. Okay, we're back with context, everyone. So I was in my head, I had a feeling that they played some form of role. I just didn't know what kind of role, and I did realize that all the girls were the same person. So that I was right on. They're her guardian angels, and they dose off all of the stresses and worries, and combating the issues that women face, as essentially what we see, because the girl looked unhappy in all of the stages. The first time it legit looked like they were bullying because they dosed off her sandcastle. But I don't quite know what the child one was necessarily, but I know the rest of them I can kind of gander music video wise with that. Now it makes so much more sense why the choreo is the way that it is, because Tony Testa choreographed it. There are, being real, weird choices in this choreo, and I call it a Tony Testa technique, because I felt that way about some of these shiny, some shiny choreo, but honestly, I was very impressed by his work there. But here, yeah, it works, but there's certain parts of it that I was like, I have never thought to do that. And it's not like I would make that choice myself, even now seeing it. It's just so different, and I think we can celebrate different perspectives of movement for sure. And there's a reason why they hire him for a lot of the SM work and not me. So that's fine. Coming at it from the top, here we go. Getting lifted. Now this part I do like, everybody nice and bleeding all the way down. Then you have them hitting on the brr, 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 but you also have the speed change of everybody still staying nice and intense, dropping all the way down. So I like that choice with head nods. They drop, and then instead of having the outside continue to do it, they switch it now to having a different group of 5, and you have another group of 2 that are nice and stable. So that was a really fun formation choice. That bom, 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 kind of feels like a little siren, right? Makes sense there. That we have a little bit more dysfunctional with these rocks. Looks totally fine. And it was a group of 4 instead of a group of 5 there. They bring back boom, and then you have that that boom, and then you have the 2 matching the tone, and then everybody else hitting that little moment there with the percussion. Now this part's really cool. The push out into the thread to the floor, they drop it down, and then they go right here, they kick, and then they drop it down. Really nice, having this little control effect of our feature. They take it, bring it through. This whole little floor work is incredible. I really, really like this. Bringing it through right there, and then use it as a really great way to create momentum to get that body facing from the inside to the front. Really nice choice. They take it, rotate it around, and then they have a nice little pike position with the arm extended back. Very impressive. That whole little sequence gets an A+. That's awesome. From here, that boom right here, I love that moment. He drops down, they accent up. Love that choice. They slowly come in. That nice little rotation. Little like a barrel jump variation or something like that. The transition to a new spot. Everybody facing different directions. There's still structure. I like that boom. He takes it. That A. Is this pretty polyrhythmic because he's riding a particular rhythm that he has to vocalize, but not only that, make sure that he's hitting certain percussive notes in order to stay on track with the members. So it is polyrhythmic here and here. So impressive there whenever you have an artist sing and have to do some form of syncopation or some form of polyrhythm in movement. It's always impressive. Now that part right there, having them all do boom, they're building it up. So they have one person, it's like a little add-on, but not everybody's doing the same direction. So it's not like a clean add-on. But I'm not talking about clean, like everybody's doing the same, like everyone's doing the same range and same timing. I don't really quite mean that. I'm talking like it's everybody's facing the exact same direction, like a unison format. But it is a really fun add-on for sure. Back seat, nice little feature from him. Back seat, nice. Everybody comes in, ding ding, and then we transition. There we go. And then we go, hey, yay, 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 yay. Hands up if you're feeling the vibe now. I feel the vibe. I like this song a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite NCT tracks. It's one of the only ones I like really, really know. But I like this one. It's a vibe for sure. Now you have one of them, he dropped his arms a little earlier. So I'm going to assume that he may be my feature, but I don't believe he is. Boom, hands up if you're feeling the vibe now. So that was a nice choice. It's subtle. I appreciate the subtlety. And take it. And then that part was really nice. Hey, yay, yay. Kind of feels like we're doing little raindrops or like that kind of, you know, that kind of whipping effect. I like that. That's cool. And it has with that, hey, yay, yay, a nice rebounded effect to it. Super cool. I like that. And they do a great job on that too. Swinging it through around. 1 step, 2 step. He moves through. Now this part is my first interesting move of the choreo, followed by, of course, that little, we're galloping on a horse. It's kind of what it looks like with no horse. Here, boom, I understand we're going for the percussive effect and we want to make it nice and full. It's just interesting, right? And we can appreciate it for sure. They take it boom, doom, da-doom, doom, da-doom. It could just be, it is tricky if you're just using your arms. It can be a bit tricky to actually get that timing as clean and crisp every time, especially when you got to repeat it. So I do know that some members are definitely using that back, making it nice and strong. Other members are still trying to figure that part out. That's fine. Over time, as you learn choreography, you naturally start understanding certain movements are going to set you up for more success by engaging that back in comparison to just relying upon the brute strength of your triceps and biceps. It's just, your back is there. It's so strong. It's the strongest part of your body, one of the strongest parts of anything for sure. And so using it to your advantage on a lot of extremity work can really go a long way. So that's something that would naturally actually make that feel more natural and more comfortable for them to do in other contexts outside of just the practice. So this was really fun having your feature, then everybody turning as a fun little ripple, and then you having your feature jump back in with everybody, then you have your other person on the side. Dun, dun, nice little, lackadaisical walk, hitting it through. That was much cleaner. Ding, ding, ding. So that part was really nice and crisp with all the members there. It's this right here. It really feels like, I know we're hitting this part, like we're dun, 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 like we're bringing up the energy. My one thing, it really looks like we're on horses. We're not on fire trucks, This isn't the most fire move for me, but also I would never really use this move unless I was interpreting we're galloping on a horse, but I'm not Tony Testa, and Tony said that's what we're doing, and NCT said yes sir, and they did, and they were clean with it, and it's fine, and technically I can hear where this goes, and it's a really clean way to get into a transition to a different formation. So would I take this over a basket run? Right, yeah, for sure. I think basket runs are definitely, there's an oversaturation in the market for basket runs. And if you don't know what a basket run is, it's whenever they're tucked and they run, then you see it a lot in mega crews, just in general across the board, regardless if it's a competition show, competition stage, different circuits, you just see basket runs. And that's an in general note that's been coming out a lot, especially if you adjudicate a competition, is try to find more creative ways to do your basket runs and your transitions. But here, this is a very creative, like you can't dog the creativity on it. I appreciate it. And on the sound side, it's good. It's a good vibe, Yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And honestly, this just reminds me of, there was a conversation and a comment that I had with Facts and Fiction. Facts and Fiction asked me my perspective on Tony Testa, and they were able to share their thoughts. I forgot, I think it was on a Shiny choreography, so you can go check that out. I don't know if I pinned it or not, but yeah, I vibe with Facts and Fiction. If you haven't seen that channel, they're a great channel. We low-key, we collab they post their content and I react to their content and I add extra information to it. So it's kind of like a mini collab in that sense at this point, which is really fun. But it's just, there are just certain moves that Tony's done, and I've been vocal about this, so this is not the first time I've talked about Tony. I highly implore you to look at my Shiny reactions, especially the ones that Tony's been a part of, so you can hear my initial refinement of it, because I even go so far as to go to his movement quality from like choreo that I physically learned. Like, he's one of the choreographers I've learned from, so it's not like I'm coming in blind on like some stranger. He just makes some weird choices, and you know what? I think in the industry, there's beauty for that. I make some weird choices too. And I think like, I can't sit here and dog somebody's choreographic choice whenever oh look, celebration. I'm not going to sit here and dog somebody's choreographic choice just because it's not my cup of tea. Like, that's it's art. It's fine, you know? If anything, they did a great job. It's clean and it matches the music pretty well. So it's all that to say, it's like, yes, I have a personal preference. That's not my favorite move in the entire world that I would have put there. I told you what I actually put there whenever I did choreography to this track. But, you know, is there a place for this? Yeah, because we see it right here and it's totally fine, you know? And if anything, I hope you all enjoy that little trot movement if you do choose to cover this choreo, because it's been, you know, almost 10 years. I mean, give or take a couple years from now, it's going to hit 10 years since this got released. And I tell you what, you know? So anyway, so I like to switch up on that. And everybody goes, woo, 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 woo. They take it. They go, fire truck. Nice little front walkover. He actually did a great job. He was in line. Really great work. You know, for me, I do train dancers who study acro. So it is interesting that, you know, he did rely a lot upon his arms. He did bend those arms just a smidge. We always recommend to keep those arms nice and straight, locked in. Great hollow position as you engage forward. But his lower half was really, really nice. So right from there, taking it through, you can really tell. I think it's in these particular moments where it does feel like we have heavy extension, and we're not using this torso nearly as much. Tony doesn't really use his torso that much, so it makes sense that they probably glean that from him, which is fine. You know, that's totally fine. And you definitely see their movement quality expand from this type of vocabulary and it become more refined over the years. For sure, because I've looked at Wakey, Simon Says, definitely at these points. There's a good chance I've seen something else maybe, but I like the switch up. That looks fine. Switch, and then we go over to new formation. This was nice, that boom, boom. I love the opposition of the head with the swing of the arm. That was a really cool choice. New feature. It's just nice. It looks like windshield wipers. Like, I like that choice. That's cool. Like, it works. Because for me, I think, like, when I look at a type of visual, it's as if it reminds me of not a visual that would wordplay to the track, it just feels different, right? Like, for me, this little jump thing that they did, it doesn't remind me of fire truck. It reminds me of a jockey on a horse. But here, that reminds me of a windshield that could be on a fire truck. So I guess that's just where my personal preference lies on tracks like this that have a very obvious wordplay involved in it. But to each their own. There's a reason why they hired him and not me. That's just what I say, you know, and that's okay. That is okay. I always love appreciating choreo, so I don't mind being here and hanging out with y'all and doing analysis. This is great. I love it. So from here, to take it, to dive it back. I like the subtlety from one of our guys. I think he did I really like his vibe on that. Like, that's a really good, I mean, all of them do a pretty good job, but he sticks out. Probably because of the orange sleeves, most likely, but hits it down, boom, boom. Like, they take it, nice little action happening here. It goes boom, boom, boom. He swings and swivels through the members. Looks really nice. The stability on that part was really good. They take it, expand it out, they drop it down. Boom, 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 boom. Nice accent. Looks great there too. Throwing it through. Boom, da-doom, doom. I like the subtlety there. Is boom, ba-doom. The suction up looks really nice on that part too. The accent at boom, boom, boom. Love it with the chest bop. Boom, accent with the legs. And they take it, nice subtlety there. You do notice some of them are rotating it towards the inside. So this is why it looks different. All of them look fine, but notice that these guys, they expanded it out with the knee. And then you notice right here, he actually fully has it turned in. And then he has it subtly turned in and turned in. So this is what I would call, I just see it in my classroom. So this is why I'm talking about it. I'm not saying this is what happened, but here's what can be a reason why this happened. Because this, obviously, it feels, you know, intentional. Normally, whenever they do the same upper body, you're going to assume that the lower body is going to be what is replicated but mirrored. And so what would have realistically have needed to happen is this leg needs to be neutral and this leg expanded out. So my guy right here technically did that, but my guy right here did not do that. Is that fine? I mean, teach your own is a dance practice. It is what it is. I will say what's interesting is that notice that these two are pretty similar and these guys are pretty similar. And the reason why, what could be is, like, I call it peripheral cleaning. So whenever you're cleaning a routine or you're working on it. So if there's choreographers who come set choreography and then there's cleaners. So people that come in and they make audits to the routine, or they're like, that's what I do at a lot of studios is if I don't choreograph it, I audit it or I clean it. And I'm also called, what is it called? We call it a texture coach. I'm a texture coach. I prescribe textures to routines because sometimes choreographers, textures are not their niche, but content, you know, they like to give a little this, a little that. And what I do is I just sprinkle in some musicality with some texture because I train all the dancers weekly in curriculum anyway. So I know what kind of textures can complement whatever choreography they're given. So I'm a little texture coach back here, and I really like it. So, but I also clean routines, and that's part of what happens with competition routines is you look at a routine and you look here and you're like, okay, I like both options. We got to go with the general consensus. But when you're cleaning a routine, what happens is sometimes dancers look in the mirror and they're going to naturally want to do whatever's happening next to them. So if they know they're in a line with somebody, they're going to make sure that they peripherally match what's going on next to them, right? It's just a really nice way to kind of audit yourself, and it makes it more efficient in the classroom. But situations like this could happen to where on one side, these guys are not directly next to these guys over here. There's a feature separation and he's doing something completely different. He's ignoring both. You notice that this guy's pretty influenced by what's happening right here because you could tell by the knee, right? But you can also see these guys right here. That's just what happens sometimes. So in my case, if I notice this in rehearsal, I would say, okay, here's what I'm noticing. Some of you are doing this, some of you are doing this. Which one would you like to do? You know, or we make it very clear that obviously you three are supposed to be doing this and you three are supposed to be doing this. But based on context of the upper body, it would make sense that everybody's supposed to match in lower body as well. But just a simple mirror, having a nice feature, showcase familiarity and similarity on both sides to create balance. But I digress. From here, that little, I love the, you know, the unhingedness of that moment and the refinement of everybody coming right back up. They bring it back, that A. I do appreciate on Tony's side the subtleties of these grooves or these movements because it does help with the A. We're riding the environment of tone that has been set. So I do appreciate that for sure. Yeah, that boom, hands up if you're feeling the vibe now. I like that, of course. Yay. And then we take it more in the straight line. We kind of dip it over on one side. Whenever you hear that little click at the end of it, you're able to really see them dip down just a little bit more there, which I like. Looks cool. One step, two steps. So he takes it, recognizes the 1 step, 2 steps. Now we're in a formation. It looks like we have like a little V and then we have an outlier. So good chance what he does is he's going to end up being a mirror and he's going to be my new feature is what my guess is. We're going to look real quick. Yes, because if you do the sequence over just like you did the first time, that's what they did, but they went from stage right to stage left. Here we went from stage left to stage right. So I always love it. Whenever you take something, if you're going to repeat it, I always appreciate when we do change direction, we change timing, we change formation. It just gives it a nice little, little pick-me-up, a little renovation to the formation or a little renovation to the content, and it's more efficient on the boys as well for that reason too. I like that hit it, boom, da-dum, da-dum. I do like that choice, boom, with a single, and then with the double up, I do like that. It's cool. Da-da. And then we, yeah, da-da-da-da-da. Da-da. Maybe it's a wordplay thing, and I just didn't catch it because I don't think they had captions on any of them. So forgive me for that. My apologies. It is what it is. But anyway, so they go da-da-da. I like how one of them in the center, he really popped off on that. So I appreciate the commitment. The switching, boom, da-da-da-da. Woo, 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 woo. Fire. I like the subtlety there. Woo, right there. And that was really impressive. It's actually, I don't know how they kind of pulled him to where they could rely solely on his shirt to get him up. I don't think that was the case. Maybe they grabbed his pant. I'm not sure. That was very impressive to get him pretty much parallel over one of our guys. That was cool. The switch on that, which is clean. I really like that. The steps, boom, boom, boom. Very clear, committed to that angle. I really like that. Looks dope. Whoop, whoop. They take it through. Now that was interesting too. Hit. For me, I would be really tempted to either chug it or take it and bring it back like a reject. So it's actually kudos to them for doing the exact thing because I would have really gotten tripped up by that move right there just because there's so many different ways that you can do it and that is the way that I have not done it. Does that make sense? It just feels very like I would feel limited and I'd feel like I need to complete the move in some way, but that is a complete move, you know? So that's the crazy thing when your body's in muscle memory on certain grooves or certain variations of grooves, little things like that can trip you up the most. You'd be super surprised at how many times grooves like that can be like, that's the hardest part, even though it's one of the simpler moves, just simply because of what your body is used to doing when you do something similar to that. Branch it up, that boom, boom, boom. That little fire truck, they take it, branch it, hitting it through. Very nice. They bring it back in, the switch, room. There it is. Okay, why did I not see that before? That woo woo, there we go. They have they're driving it and they went woo woo on the horn. So I take back what I said about there not being a lot of wordplay. I just missed it. That's my fault. My apologies. I love seeing that there. Hitting it through and really like that. Yep. Woo, 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 woo. I like that they're recognizing that sound. Woo, 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 woo. Nice. Fire truck. They're picking it up. Now, this part can go pretty dicey, especially on the sense of your stability in the torso. Sometimes, depending on how he's being held, he could over-teeter from one side to another. So my guy has a responsibility to make sure he stays nice and tall. And our guys right here have to make sure that they don't overlift or underlift, depending on what's going on in the choreography, right? And then seeing with my guy that's actually going up, he has to be mindful of how much he bends and how much he extends, where he places his weight. There's a lot that goes into this this type of move. So he does a good job coming up, extending. And he comes up, and just the tricky part is just making it feel, what's the word? Just feel stable. I think that's the best word to use. And it does look pretty stable. It doesn't look like he's gonna fall or anything, so that's always really good. We always want to ensure safety with our members, so that's good. He comes down very simple. That boom, 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 nice. Like the speed change, boom, 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 and they slow it just a little bit. Really like that choice. Looks cool. I like the diagonal. It's a V. Jess, it's a V. You take it as a reverse V, and then you have your feature in center. It looks great. He takes a little knock knock. They go, and they extend that arm down. Of course, you notice some of them go up and so go through. Sometimes, well, the reason why sometimes that kind of stuff happens is some people use the elbow and some people use the bicep, and so that just causes more range to happen with that. So that's probably what you may have noticed there. I think one of our guys went up and then one of them went through. So that's just a really interesting note. That's where energy output matters, because if I'm placing and focusing my energy on my pull here versus here, it's going to look different than my neighbor. So I tend to talk about those things when we clean. If I have to like squeaky clean a routine because the concept calls for it, because not all concepts call for really, really clean routines. It just depends on what it's for. It depends on the competitions you go to, and it depends on concept, if I'm being real. Because some musicality has the beauty of individuality in it, right? So in this case, for me, I do know they're meant for more their individual, movement qualities, but this is a pretty clean routine. Like, I don't have any major qualms with it. There's like your typical kind of stuff that can always be refined, but everyone's human, and there's in every routine, regardless if you're known for synchronicity or not, there's always going to be something that could be refined. You're all human, and it's kind of almost nearly impossible to get everybody on the same page through the fingers 100% of the way through a routine. It's not practical to expect that from people, even if they're trying to be robots. They're human, right? But we can still appreciate whenever there's those types of discrepancies. It's good to at least point them out and recognize here's some ways to adjust that or make that more practical for the concept. I think that's fine too. Now the little dive through when you have your every other boom, boom, boom. I really like that choice. Looks super nice. The subtlety of your feature. He dropped down whenever half the group dropped as well. So that was a nice moment of stillness or speed change. Party people! And now we're saying fire truck in Korean, which is sabangcha! Woo, woo, woo! Now, they take it. I don't know if they were all supposed to do the same arms, but that's fine because we're really partying up. We've dropped down and we're here. That's sabangcha. Here we go. Now, this part, it was giving West Side Story. This whole part, West Side Story through and through. It is what it is, that's fine. The little karate chop there, that's just so interesting. This whole little bit is interesting. Boom, click, click. It's just all precision. This is like the most Tony Testa section I think I've ever seen in my life. It makes so much sense. As soon as I saw who choreographed it, I'm like, that makes so much sense why some of these choreographic sequences look this way. That's a Tony Testa fingerprint sequence. And it's this right here. They take it through, digging it through, bringing it up. I do like that choice with the subtleties of the hands, of bringing up the energy in the lower half of the body. You do notice some people were kicking their bottoms in comparison to switching it over. That, of course, comes from, depending on how you rotate those feet, sometimes is what can cause that influence to take place. I like that doom, 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 people going out, and then notice your feature on the inside is controlling. So I like that choice too. Diving through, boom, da-dum, da-dum, boom. Nice. Switching it through, boom, da-dum, da-dum, boom, and switch. Then they bring it back up once again. Yep, sabangcha, and a nice little footwork to tie in what we saw in the very beginning. Honestly, that first verse was freaking fire. I love that floor work choreo so much. Probably the highlight of the whole thing. But I like right here, they rotate it, and they rotate it around. I really like that choice. Super fun. Woo, woo, woo. I'm assuming they're going woo, 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 but they're doing it in like a really, like a separation, or they're maybe syncopating it, or they're trying to get it on the rhythm. I think is what they're trying to do there. A little sabangcha, nice little Just feel like we're doing a little gallop. It really gives off that energy to really finish up with our invisible horses. Kind of feels fitting in that way. No, I'm not making fun of the choreo. It actually I just connected that way. I don't know how to not see it that way. That's the Tony Testa way, guys, you know. There's a little tutting moment. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. They branch it up. They intertwine the fingers to bring it up. Dropping it down. Boom. I feel like I've seen this before. By Tony. Like, I feel like this, I've seen this. Maybe in a shiny choreo. I don't know. I've seen it. Maybe at a convention. I don't know. Hitting it through. Boom. Dee-dee-dee. Dropping down. Sabang cha. And everybody kind of dials it out. Vibes it out. And we're chill. Cool. So, in conclusion, I mean, this was a vibe. It definitely feels different in terms of this was way easier for me to see what was going on formation-wise compared to Wakey Wakey. That threw me for a loop. But I enjoyed both for different reasons. In this sense, it is interesting to go back to a Tony Testa choreo and see it on a different group compared to when I saw his work on Shiny. Also seeing them, they do have some really, really cool moments in this. And being able to understand the storyline from their music video is also really cool too. I feel like I learned a lot about the track itself, so I had fun. Thank you guys once again for taking the time to watch, and thank you, Kit, for the recommendation and reaction request. It's always really nice. I have a tier on Patreon called In the Pocket, and I have people that send in requests on that tier every month, and you are guaranteed a reaction request every month, which Kit has taken advantage of, and I get it. I would too, personally. I love it. It's fun. If you want to get in on the action, if let's say the In the Pocket tier is full, but you still want early release stuff or stuff as I make it, like this one, you can check it out on Patreon. I have a ton of stuff there that is not released to the public for a long time, and I also have about, at this point, maybe 30 to 40 blocked reactions that can't make their way to YouTube because they're blocked. And I also have been doing more and more full episode reactions of things such as Hope on the Street, Street Dance China Season 4, Season 6, you got Street Dance Girl Fighter full episodes. You also have, what else have I done? I've done Road to Kingdom and Kingdom Legendary Wars. So I got a lot of stuff that is either coming down the pipeline or actively being reacted to that are full episode reactions that naturally come with refined feedback based on the analysis that get released on YouTube. So if that's something that interests you, Patreon's there. But if you're okay with just doing YouTube, I'm here for it. Love the discussions. Once again, I'm Jess. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.